Retro logo or the new logo? A debate starting to brew. We're going to talk about that. Could Alabama possibly wear the old white helmets again? Haven't seen them in years. Saraland with a guy that flipped, but could Alabama get him to flip back? Antonio Coleman. We'll get into that. Mater Dei out in California. Somehow Alabama has turned that into a pipeline, and they offered a receiver from out in California this weekend. And guess who is in town? Yeah, Ryan Grubb. All of that and more here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Hope you guys are off to a good start to the week. We're going to get you going on Alabama right here. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. That's a way of saying Roll Tide. Get in that comment section. Ask Brett what happened to his radio tower. All that right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. There he is, Big Elmo, Brett Elmore from WJLX. I know we're going to get into this here in a second, and we are wearing our outfits on perfect purpose. Great to see you, though, at Brett Elmore Show. I'm at Broadcaster Mick. Yeah, man, let's just jump right into the fire here before we talk about your missing. No, we're not going to talk about that. And well, we can if you want to. All right. We're starting to see the retro logo more. You're wearing it on your chest. I'm wearing this one right here, the Bryant A, they call that, on my hat and on my chest. What do you think?
I like the retro. That's why I bought this expensive gear. I like the retro. Yeah. You're starting to see a lot of it more. I guess we're trendsetters here on the channel. I think ever since they saw me wearing it, they thought, you know what? That's cool again.
Right.
Now, you see it, believe it or not, I pay attention to fashion. You see it a lot. What old is new? It all comes back around, and I guess it's just cool again. I don't know. I like it. But of course, I like Script A too. But I like the old school Bama A.
It's good to have more than one logo. And the reason I'm bringing it up is we started to see some pictures tweeted out from Junior Week or Junior Day, which was really a weekend. And you're seeing that A used a lot more, which it's the same exact A, except they've cleaned it up a little bit, with modern technology. Yeah. And I like it. I mean, it's fantastic. I still like the Bryant Script A too, but you can have more than one. I mean, I would like to see that on a Bama baseball hat. That'd be cool. Even if it was just like kind of a, once in a while Sunday, once a month type thing, but it's cool.
It's cool. But the one, I guess, complaint I've heard about what you're wearing is it looks a lot like the Atlanta Braves logo. And of course, that infamous saying of people say, well, you can tell the Bama logo from the Braves logo by the mullet on the A. I don't know where that started, but yeah.
I love that mullet.
Well, I love that mullet,
It looks great. I love that A. I like it better than the Braves A, to be honest with you. But it used to look exactly the same. And then I think Alabama might have gotten sued or threatened or something. And they changed it. And now they're with this one. Now, I wanted to bring that up because I'm throwing this up and I'm calling for it, man. I want to see the white helmets back again. And look, I'm not saying every game. I'm not saying big games. I'm saying when you maybe one time or once a year when you're playing like Chattanooga, just throw them on. Can we just do it? I mean, can we just invert the colors one time? Look, there's Bear Bryant. He did it.
Ooh, that's a touchy subject, brother.
I know. Some people are going to be fired up at me for saying that.
Yeah, I don't I'm a traditionalist with Bama football. I don't like it. I don't like it. You stick with what works, baby. Those red
I mean,
helmets.
here's Bear Bryant with them. I mean,
Yeah, I
he
mean
did
that
it.
makes for a strong case. If Coach Bryant did it, then yeah, maybe once in a while, but still, man, it's really tough. I wonder what, and pardon my ignorance, but I wonder what game this was for. I can't.
It was like the whole season. I want to say it was because I've got a picture of him and Joe Namath on my wall wearing it. I think it was the 62 season.
Yeah,
I may be wrong, but I can Google that. But I mean, like they wore them, and
well, according to the Google, uh, Alabama wore white helmets notably in the '83 and '84 seasons,
okay, all
and
right,
they popped up a few times in the '50s, '60s, and '70s.
okay, yeah. So there you go. You knew Coach Saban wasn't going to do it,
No,
and I get it. Look, man, nothing is better than seeing the crimson helmet with the white stickers running out of the locker room with crimson or white jerseys. Alabama's jerseys are great. I'm just saying for the purpose of maybe recruiting, I'm talking about the purpose of mini helmets and, and gear. Alabama's very traditional with the uniform, but it's something that's been done. I don't want to be like Florida and wear the black helmet with the gator on the side or whatever, and then lose to Arkansas, or like time that they showed up in the SEC championship game with the white helmet and the F on the side, and Alabama thumped them in 2009, which always kind of like I've enjoyed those Daniel Moore prints because there was a Mark Ingram and then there was a Greg McElroy print from that game, right? And I think it's one of the best games I ever went to, if not number one in the Saban era to me. I mean, that game just meant so much. And I just always think like no one's going to know that's Florida because
right.
they wore those crappy uniforms instead of going with the orange with the gator, and then they lost. And it seems like sometimes when you change up the uniforms, bad things happen.
Yeah, that's right. I like to kick Florida's ass no matter what colors they're wearing, though. uh, you know, but the white helmets, I still like. I'm a traditionalist, but I guess it wouldn't kill someone for it to happen during one game. But still, I'm not for it. I give it
Okay.
a I give it a thumbs down. I
All
don't.
right. Thumbs up to me, but only if it's I wouldn't want to wear those and then lose, So, but it's got to be one of those 99.9% chance to win games,
Yeah,
just at least to get your feet wet, right? But who
yeah,
knows? I mean, I think that Tennessee's done a nice job of instituting different uniform looks without going away from the traditional, right? They have the smoky grays that they'll wear once in a while. They wore black one time, and basically, not that Alabama needs help recruiting, but merchandise sale and and obviously NIL and all of that stuff. It's just eye catching, So
well,
it's
yeah.
a sales pitch. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you can do all the merchandise you want to without changing the uniforms. The I think the players, I think they buy into that concept of we wear that crimson and we don't have to have these special uniforms to beat you down.
Yeah, well,
But who knows? I don't know. If you want the flashy uniforms, go to Oregon.
all right. Let me switch gears now. Let's talk about one of the guys that was in Tuscaloosa for junior weekend, and that's Antonio Coleman. He was committed to Alabama and then flipped. So something happened. Who knows? But he really enjoyed being around the new coaching staff. And some people feel like he connected better with those guys than he did with Coach Saban and his staff, right? So he's got Ryan Williams, the 5-star wide receiver, chirping at him to come. Obviously, he's committed to Alabama. DeBoer and the gang are recruiting KJ Lacey, who's also from Saraland. I feel like this Saraland team is going to be legendary with the amount of talent that they have right now. and it's not going to last forever. I mean, but they're in one of those like veins where they've just hit all of these talented players. And I think we're going to talk about them for a long time. But, Coleman getting the impression that DeBoer really wants to win, and also having Kane Womack there, right? The guy from South Alabama connected to Coleman. Freddie Roach, he really likes. He says he's still committed to Auburn, but I like what these guys are doing. I mean, it feels like DeBoer isn't just going to sit back and let Auburn go and try to steal players during the transfer portal and accept guys that have left that he wants. I love the Alabama full court press here.
I do too. Guy's 6'2", 285. Obviously, looking at the pick of him, big guy, stomping around. Yeah, it looks like Saraland has hit, and you see this a lot in high school football with programs. Talent is cyclical.
Yeah.
You'll get a cycle of like really, really good players, and then it goes up and down. At least that's my experience in high school football in Alabama. But yeah, he's committed to Auburn, but he could do the old flip flop, Mick, and come back and come to Alabama, because Freddie Roach was one of the ones that had been recruiting him from the start. So he's still on staff, and who knows? It would be nice to get him to flip back to the Tide. Can't win them all, but still, it's a guy you'd like to have and not lose to your cross-state rival.
Yeah. And it also kind of brings up something we touched on, I think, yesterday, offers and ReOffers, right? And we're going to talk about Marcus Harris, who was from Mater Dei out in California, another guy from Mater Dei that Alabama has offered. They've had, think about like the list of guys. I think even Bryce Young came from there. I mean, it's like a who's who from out there. But Alabama's done a great job of recruiting that high school and a bunch of others. And we're going to talk about that vein, kind of like that Saraland thing that they got going on. Mater Dei is just known for football. But offers and ReOffers, and figuring out who's going to get an offer and a ReOffer. What if you already have an offer, but you don't get ReOffered, right? What do you think that like that's going to happen some? And how do you deal with that? I mean, there could be some bad blood with high school coaches if a player has an offer and Alabama doesn't stand by it, which I don't think DeBoer would do that. I got a feeling he's pretty buttoned up and smart and seems like a really good guy.
I don't think he will either. And I think we would have already heard something of him, rescinding an offer or whatever by now, because he's been at work so much. And Harris, for example, out there at Mater Dei, he has offers from a bunch of different schools, including Arizona and I think Arizona State, Auburn has offered him, Colorado, Dion. And by the way, I haven't heard a whole lot out of the Colorado program since
what's going on there?
Huh?
I said, what's going on there? Haven't heard from Coach Prime in a while.
Yeah, where's this guy at? But anyway, he's offered him. But the pipeline, like you mentioned, from Mater Dei and the state of California, pretty incredible. A lot of talent comes out of California, obviously, but we must have some sort of connection there that is unbreakable, because it seems like we get a lot of talent from out there.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And I think that's going to continue. I mean, when you talk about, Ryan Grubb, and I know we've kind of speculated, hey, is this guy going to be there or not? Well, guess what? He's there. He was recruiting, and that's someone that Harris talked a lot about. And Alabama is selling the fact that they're going to play fast, which is going to be interesting. Playing fast, quick football and offense, attacking. I feel like the offense since 2020, when Sark left, right? I think that was his last year. It's kind of been like, it's been okay, but it hasn't been like it was before. I think that the offense is going to be is really going to be good. And I know a lot of you guys have said in the comment section, "Hey, you win with defense." Well, you win with both, really, these days, right? I don't think Alabama's not going to play defense. I think they're going to keep playing defense, but that'll be interesting to see how that looks too. But the exciting part is when you can get these guys in front of you, and Harris left saying, "Hey, I don't know what I'm going to do anymore." This is a change of what direction. This put a lot of thoughts in his head. And I could see him coming. But we were wondering if Ryan Grubb was going to Seattle. Hey, the guy's been there all weekend talking football with these recruits. So you got Zabian Brown. Remember, he's a Mater Dei guy. And Damani Jackson. Remember the guy that was a 5-star that went to USC and now he's transferring to Alabama? He's still coming. And so they're teammates of, were guys that Harris would know from Mater Dei High. It's just weird how you kind of there's like a couple schools that a lot of guys come to Alabama from too. And it's good that Ryan Grubb's the guy that's talking to him.
Yeah, it is cool, and we go back to the Grubb thing and his NFL opportunity that may come knocking. I don't know if it's going to come knocking or not. It seems like the longer this thing goes on, the less feasible or whatever you want to call it that it's.
He might not want it.
He may not. Now, Sports Illustrated did put out an article yesterday. On Sunday, saying that multiple sources have said that he is interested in that job.
Really?
But Sports Illustrated made a good point about, the new coach there, McDonald. That could be almost like a dangerous hire for him because of Grubb's. He hadn't been in a Power 5 program but a couple of years there at Washington.
Right. Plus, how many you really want to? No offense. I mean, I know we want him, but I mean, you just when it comes to the NFL, you really want to take that risk,
right? And Coach DeBoer and Grubb, they've been together for so long that they have this chemistry, and we talked about it on the Sunday rollback, but. I think it's a choice of, do you want to be in the NFL? Do you want to be in the pros, or do you want to be in college? And I think that Alabama is a better opportunity for him in the grand scheme of things. And I hope that he stays, because I think it would be really bad if we were to lose the offensive coordinator right here in February.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no doubt about it. I'm sure that DeBoer has like a backup plan, but you're right.
Yeah.
I'm look, until he's gone, he's there working.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. But when you have good people, and this from owning radio stations, that other people want good people. So you're going to have to pay them more to keep them. You would rather have people that someone else looks at and goes, "Hey, I'd like to have that guy," than the guys that are like, "Yeah, I don't really want him. You guys keep him."
Right.
Like, did you ever see the show Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
They did an episode about something called foisting, and it's like where they pretend someone's good so that they can get rid of them to somebody.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think that we've had that problem in a long time in Tuscaloosa because of Coach Saban, but just kind of funny. All right, final topic today. Let's look at this. Still a long way to go. But after Alabama took that epic beatdown in Knoxville against Tennessee, the Tides won 4 in a row. They score a ton of points. Mark Sears kind of leading the way. And how about Estrada with a really good game against Mississippi State? And look at this. I mean, they're the team that won last year, and they're at the top of the conference standings.
Nate Oats is a hell of a coach, Mick. This guy, I've liked Coach Oats since he stepped foot on campus. But yeah, Sears had a great night. I think Saturday night I was watching the game with Mississippi State, and I think the announcer said this almost looks like a scrimmage. Alabama dominated that ball game, um, and ended the first half on a 21-4 run. They didn't look back, and you're right. I mean, Sears had 21 points. Estrada had 15, and he nearly had a double-double, 15 and 8 rebounds, and then they had a lot of points off the bench, and
yeah, like 45 or something.
yeah, and also scoring 99 points. That's the 10th game this season. They score a lot of points, and obviously, when you score a lot of points, you win a lot of ball games. And they play really well at home, also. But you can't play every game at home. And this week they've got to go to Auburn, a tough place to play. You've already beaten them once this season. It's going to be really hard for Alabama to go down to Auburn and win. I'm not counting them out, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be really hard. They come out of Auburn with a win, you better look out. But we'll see. I like this Alabama team. They hustle. They always do. And they shot the three fairly well, 31%. They shot 48 three-pointers. You do that, you're going to hit a pretty good number of them. But
yeah,
I like this team. I like Coach Oats.
Well, I mean, you can't not like Coach Oats.
Yeah. I mean, just can't.
The best
can't
one
not
that we've
like
had.
that.
And he doesn't. You know what? He's easy to deal with. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't accept anything but the best. And Pringle's in the doghouse right now, but he'll get out and he'll be a better player in person for it. What's amazing to me is how Alabama has gotten so good, and that building that they play in is just trash. I'm sorry. I mean, it just is. Like Coleman Coliseum is awful. And I know they were going to build a new one, and they've got reasons why. And I think the economy is a big part of it, and and everything else. But the bottom line is that Nate Oats has figured out a way to win in a place that is, when you go on the road and you're recruiting for the players that are coming to Tuscaloosa, is probably the worst gym that some of these guys are willing to play in. And he's still getting them in there. Alabama needs a new gym. They need a new gym. Let me say it again. They need a new gym. It needs to have luxury boxes. The seating needs to be closer. And I hope that they don't lose Nate Oats over it. I mean, even Bruce Pearl, who I like, by the way, was making a joke about the lights going off, but it's a fun rivalry. I think Alabama's walking into a pretty tough game on Wednesday. But you know what? Great teams figure out a way to win. They shoot like they did against Mississippi State. They're going to win any gym that they play in. It's just going to be loud in there. It's going to be, they're going to be right on top of you, and we'll find out. But I think we need to. What's that?
I think we need to start a Build Bama Build basketball shirt. That could be the next big thing. Build Bama Build. We need us a new gymnasium down there because we've got a great program under Oats, and you're right, man. It's way overdue, and I hope we don't lose Coach over that. I don't think we will, but
I haven't heard anything about it in a while. But they had the plans and everything, and then all of a sudden,
I guess just the way everything is right now with the economy and
it's it's like the women's basketball team, very quiet. Like you forget you even have one because it's been so long since they've really been good.
You keep up with them a lot. I mean,
I know. Hey, look, there's at Alabama.
They're pretty good, aren't they?
No, they're okay, but they're not. They're never at the top of the mountain. They need a new coach. But I'll give Christy Curry some advice. Play Barker. Just play Barker. Put Ashley, Sarah in the game, and just let her play. Like when you pretend like you know how to draw up plays, but you really don't. Just put her in the game. Did you see her the other night? What if you won an arena, and you've got so many basketball events. Gymnastics has a big crowd, and then women's basketball. It's like it looks like a yard sale in there or something. I mean, there's like 500 people. That giant
yard sale. Yeah.
Well, Christy came in and she was so adamant about moving out of Foster Auditorium because it was just too small. It's like, at least in there, when you're hiding from the public because you're not good, at least you could go in there and hide instead of being in Coleman. Oh, but when LSU came, there was a big crowd. Yeah, but they weren't Alabama fans.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I don't know. It's just, but the same things happen now with the whole plans for a new building. Like, it's just kind of like, no, everyone forgot about it.
hey, but I tell you what, gymnastics could benefit from a bigger building. They draw, man, do they draw a crowd?
Yeah. There's Sarah Patterson started that with all that winning and all the, you see all the girls, the young girls playing, playing softball now because Alabama's good at softball, and it's kind of like, is out over the state. And same thing with Tennessee when Pat Summitt was there. Women's basketball is so intense and up there. Down here in Fairhope, there's Bayside is like this volleyball academy. Really, I mean, and every girl wants to play, and that's how gymnastics is. I mean, and even though Alabama recruits nationally, but it's just a very popular thing, and that's what I'm saying. Right. The women's basketball program needs new direction, and I think that it matters. I told you I was watching Maryland against Iowa, and the LSU against USC game, or USC South Carolina. Those were good games, just to have a program to have it and not care who coaches it and not care if the team wins or not. Shouldn't be the Alabama way. Plus, if you're getting a new building, it would kind of be nice to, to kind of be like a program that wins and cares about winning in both sports. Both men and women's athletics. So, all right. Anyway, Brett, want to remind everyone that a team that does win a lot is Alabama football, and Daniel Moore does a great job of painting those moments. I mean, I've got a whole wall of them in here. National championship moments. I'm looking at Eddie Lacy running over Manti Te'o. I got Jake Coker, who I do a podcast with, in front of me over there on the wall, and that 2015 season print. But you can get them as well and use the promo code Bama Tailgate, 15% off your regularly priced item. That's where we're at right now. All right, Brett, good to see you, brother.
Hey, and welcome back home.
Yeah, I'm back. You notice we got good internet.
You're not sitting at a Holiday Inn Express somewhere with ladies coming by with clothing carts.
That Great. Place was, that was that hotel was kind of run down. It was definitely up to my. That wasn't up to my Key West standards.
Yeah, it wasn't up to the Mick standard.
Oh man, I should have read the. You always read, like, oh, what are the stars and the comments? I do
too.
I didn't do it with that one, and but the people were nice there. So, all right, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Roll Tide. Hey, you guys like and subscribe if you made it this far. And
please do.
You.